Labubus.
Stage is yours. Go for your minute.
I don't understand the trend of Labubus. So Labubus are the little troll monster dolls that people are putting on their designer handbags. Their Louis, their Birkins, their Gucci bags. I don't get the hype. I guess it started from Blackpink.
Continue.
That's her name? Blackpink?
The K-pop group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the girl in Blackpink? Jenny? Her name?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
It's the Pop Report. So juicy.
Another day, another sleigh. Maybe.
Another day, another drama.
Is that with you or is that just in life?
I think just in life. I don't think I have any drama today. I mean, my knee's broken, but it's fine.
What happened to your knee?
I don't really know. I think, well, I fell at one point.
Help, I fall and I can't get up.
Well, yeah, I fell and I hit it. And then it seemed fine, but I think maybe I should have taken a couple days off from the gym, and I just kept doing it and kept running and pushing it. And so I think I strained something or I tore something. I did something and I just really fucked it up.
I feel like this is the story of your life. I fucked up my back, my knee.
It's never oh yeah, it was my back. Yeah, my back, my hip, my knee.
What's it like to be 72?
Well, it's not because it's not my body's giving out. It's that I push my body and then I work it too hard.
You're kind of like the case of Benjamin Button, where you look just physically young, but inside you're just decrepit and old.
Just crumbling.
Anyway, happy 100.
It's 100, yay!
My frail old man can't really move too much because he's on meds.
No, I'm I got fingered by Andy's boyfriend. That was a joke he gave me. He told me make sure you say that on the show, so I did. Shout out to Andy's boyfriend. He does massage, and so and every time I get injured, I have to go to Andy's boyfriend to get fixed.
Only when you get injured?
Well, I don't see him otherwise.
I mean, you should. No.
So he did all the acupuncture, and then he put all the essential oils, and so I'm coming out of just imagine you just got a massage, and then now you have to be awake.
You're struggle bus right now. I know what you had acupuncture, you had a couple other things
this acupuncture actually, because when they do acupuncture, you have a little pot. It gives you that little jolts, and they say that that's the chi that is expanding. You're releasing the chi. And normally he pokes me all over, and I'm normally fine. But today every little poke was I felt it.
I drove Zack in the car right over after. Papa was asleep.
I was waking up.
You were barely waking up.
I was awake, but I wasn't present.
Some people aren't present these days, and that's why they make some headlines. So good for you.
Yay.
We have a lot to get into this episode.
That we do.
It's you and I in studio. It hasn't been like this in a minute.
We're all in this together. Once we know that we're all stars.
You done?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I just want to let you have your little moment. We have some things to get into. We don't get to come in studio too often together, and it's a nice little joyful time when we do. But as we said, this is 100.
Yes.
We don't know how we did it. Don't know why y'all love it. If you like it,
subscribe, leave a comment, to all the things. We should give people shout outs.
Yeah, let's do a couple things. So on our last episode, we also got a few comments. People were very much saying I should be grateful for looking like this and not having any work done, which I appreciate and respect this body. And I stand on that. So thank you. But Zack, last episode, you were very candid about all of your work you've had done.
Okay, but there's not a lot of work that actually, I've done a lot. Yeah. We restructured my jaw. But that was Invisalign. That wasn't a cosmetic surgical thing. It was my jaw. We needed to completely expand.
I love how you call it realigning your jaw when it's Invisalign.
We did. My jaw I didn't have enough room for all my teeth. It was too small. So we had to literally expand the jaw, which changed my entire face.
What's it like to have a facelift without having a facelift?
Haven't done that yet, but I'm waiting for a quote. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. What are some comments you want to shout out, or some people, some reviews and things?
Should we read some comments?
Absolutely, because some days you never know what the comments are going to entail. They say don't look at the comments. Other times Will you read them before we go to bed?
Okay, let's look at. Oh, we have a very oh no,
Colorful?
very colorful review
Oh,
on Apple
great.
from Eileen 334455. She doesn't have a last name. She said, Zack peddles anti-vax propaganda. Everybody should note that by supporting this podcast, you were supporting somebody that literally peddles propaganda. He now runs commercials on his channel daily against COVID. And the Andy guy seems fine. But Zack is a right-wing nut job. Wow.
Would you like to respond to this review?
I don't think I've never come for COVID or the shot. I don't think I'm an anti-vax propagandist right-wing nut job, but thank you for the engagement.
So you denounce right-wing, you denounce anti-vax. You're like, none of these statements apply to me.
No. I think people like to think that I am, but I actually am not.
You're very much critical independent.
But very critical. And I think people like... But
Emphasis on the critical.
Emphasis on the critical. But people like to then pick apart which criticism they want to hold me to. And then if they agree with my criticism, then they're like, yeah. And then if they don't like my criticism, then they're like, you're this.
It's very giving independent erasure. Like flip-flop which side you on. Kind of like bi erasure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there mean ones for you?
I mean... Not that I know.
What does it say on Spotify? I don't have my phone, so I can't check Spotify.
I was going to say, I'm reading this comment on YouTube, and it says, LMAO, Andy was talking about plastic surgery. Cut to Zack, and he's gone. MIA as he ran to get his breast implants.
No, I ran because I heard my dog. I heard a dog whimpering, and I thought it was my dogs. I thought they were like stuck somewhere, so I went to go check on them, and they weren't stuck anywhere. They were just fine. It was somebody else's dog that must have been doing something.
Must have been doing the deed. Have you ever caught your dogs like in a bad situation? Last episode, for context, Zack stepped away because he thought it was his dogs, like having a little kerfuffle, and I'm like, let me just hold the fort down.
Yeah, Andy kept talking. I was like, oh, well, he'll probably pause because I said pause, and then I walked away, and then
no,
Andy
you
kept
went
going.
Finger.
Yes, I went finger, and finger means pause.
I thought it meant
Sorry,
to.
listen, I've been up since. Well, I've been on camera ready since 5 a.m. because I had to tape Court TV this morning.
Well, we have a comment from Spotify from Smiling Eyes Media saying, congrats on 100 episodes. I love the Pop Report.
Yay.
This other comment from Jesse says, Andy says the most random things that don't really make sense. And Zack legit ignores it and keeps it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is it's your equivalent to bless your heart.
Mm-hmm.
You go, yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. That whole 9 yards.
So yummy.
Speaking of cute,
Fun.
we've been very active lately, both you and I. And I feel like what makes this podcast very...
sexually active.
What makes this podcast interesting is us being sexually active. No, us talking about work, because most people don't want to talk about work, and we do nonstop.
Yeah.
But I feel like people have been asking a lot more on how we get to do certain field assignments, or how do we set up certain opportunities, like Court TV. I cover carpet. Sometimes you come with me. Like, I think that's what people ask about so many times.
Come together.
Sexually.
Right now.
You just had Court TV this morning.
I did tape Court TV this morning. Court TV is always such a whirlwind because it's live and it's East Coast.
How does one, okay, so guide the girls through the process. How does one appear on Court TV, and what's that like structure like?
The host, Julie Grande, she hosts opening statements on Court TV, and she really liked me. And so she reached out, and she actually had her boyfriend reach out to me because he knew me. His name is Justin, and connected us. And then now I talk to Clark. Every time Clark needs me to come on Court TV, Clark will shoot me a text and he says, can you come on Court TV tomorrow at 5 a.m.? And I say, sure. And then I get my bullet points of what we're going to talk about. And then I have to like actually look into what we're talking about. Yeah, like this morning we were talking about Diddy, and we were talking about him. I guess he had a stylist, and he was like hanging her off the railing.
Oh, I thought you meant your Court TV rep, and I was like, Oh,
No.
Diddy. We're back to Diddy.
Diddy. He got his stylist, and I guess he was holding her over, which I don't know how believable that
Very
sounds.
mafia.
It was very mafia.
Like hang him by the ankles and say like, talk, bitch, talk.
Yeah, it very much like that. And so she was testifying. I was like, wow, it was a very elaborate story. But yeah, apparently he was holding her over. So I had to be like, oh, and so I had to look into what her testimony was and what she was talking about. And then normally they pair me with an actual attorney because I'm not an attorney.
But you basically try to lay down the law.
I'm the voice of Hollywood on court TV. It's how they like to label it. And then there's usually an attorney there. But today's attorney, like, he was feeling himself. I guess he represents Joe Exotic from Tiger King. And so he even put on his, like,
Bring him
crown.
on. Bring him on
I thought
this.
about that.
And you didn't act on it.
Because I don't know him. And I just found out live on TV. Like, you find out when things are live, you're kind of just in the moment and doing it.
When you are on live TV, do you ever think like, okay, I can't give it away on my face when you hear stuff like, this is Joe Exotic's attorney. You're like, keep it real. You can't react to that.
Yes. And I was, well, especially because then he brought his crown out and he's like, look at it, I'm the Tiger King. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, it was actually very funny, but it was just.
So you're Biffles now.
Yeah. Sort of.
Kind of.
I don't think he liked me though.
Bring him on.
Because other attorneys have been on and they always praise me and he did not. He wanted to steal the show and it's okay.
Sometimes the spotlight is stolen.
Tried.
Do you like to share the spotlight?
No.
And somehow this is still going on 100 episodes. That's the only thing. So how long is a taping of court TV? Because
it's fast. It's only a few minutes.
Really?
Maybe like 8 minutes. It's under 10.
That's like a carpet.
Yeah.
It's like you get not even 8 minutes with somebody.
It's quick. I maybe get like 3 questions. And then today we were going a little later. And so the lady was in my ear and she's just like, final thoughts, wrap it up. But
you always call women lady, like this lady.
Yeah.
Leave that lady alone.
What do you want me to call her? Girl?
Girl.
You call everybody girl.
There's a phrase on TikTok that's just like, and we were girls, we were out, we were having a good time, we were girls. And now I'm just like, is this me? Am I now embedded into my brain a clip from TikTok? But you always call people distinguished ladies.
Yeah, she was a lady. And so she would yell in my ear. She'd be like, final thoughts.
What happens when someone's not a lady though?
Man.
No. I meant like an irritable, like lady, not a distinguished woman.
Oh, if she's like a bitch. Right?
Yeah, sure. Give it out as it is.
She wasn't very ladylike the way she was yelling in my ear. Final thoughts. But then I'm like mid-sentence and then I hear her and then I'm like, and your brain's like moving because you're live. So you're trying to be engaged with the host, but then she's yelling in your ear. And so I'm like, what does she say? But I'm also mid-sentence. So I'm like trying to finish my thought while also I was like, wait, she wasn't loud enough or she was too fast. She like spitballed that. And I don't know her cadence yet. So her and I are not biffles yet.
It's kind of hard on live TV or anything that's recorded and someone's trying to nudge you and someone's trying to tap you being like, wrap it up. And I'm like, girl, there's the girl count. Leave me alone. I know. But
see, you can't do that and you can't show that on your face.
No.
You have to. And so I was like mid-sentence and I was like, what the fuck was I saying? And so I like kind of tried to finish my train of thought that probably didn't make any sense, but that was my final thought.
It's rude. It's when
really
someone gives you a little tap
rude
on the wrist, I'm like, tap the man next to me and let him know, like,
did you do gay pride?
Did I do gay pride?
No, like you worked it, right?
I did West Hollywood Pride.
Okay.
And so this month is the Olympics of being gay.
Yeah.
WeHo Pride, New York Pride, Thailand Pride.
Are you doing other prides?
I'm going to World Pride this weekend. And so for me, you and I like each have very different but similar like interviews and very similar field assignments. But like sometimes I'm actually in the field and I'm out in the open on a grassy turf. So I interviewed people backstage of World Pride. Or backstage of WeHo Pride. I'm about to go to World Pride. Had to change my flight to an overnight flight because...
Where's World Pride?
World Pride changes...
I know, but where
every
is it
year.
This year?
This year's in Washington, D.C., where I grew up.
Interesting.
Very interesting for the time we're in right now. Yes. So for me right now, it's a mix of covering interviews, covering the live events. But what happens for a lot of these is people say, okay, on my docket, I get an email. Hi, Andy. Are you interested in interviewing anybody at World Pride?
Yeah.
Will you be there? Number one, how do you get there? If they're not covering your stuff,
Yeah.
you got to figure out how to make those ends meet. And so sometimes you have to get approvals from an editor, your boss,
Yeah.
and it's just, it costs so much money sometimes. You're like, okay, if we want to go get one interview, is this $1,000 round trip flight, $2,000 hotel stay really worth it for this 5-minute clip?
Yeah.
It's like, is it going to drive any numbers? And people think that websites make a ton of money, not just for one.
Yeah. So what do you do when you have to interview somebody you don't like?
Like on live TV, like in a recorded segment, that I had to be like, well, can't name names, can't say shit. But
yeah, like
there's
what if you
times-
had to like go to World Pride and then like interview Ivanka Trump?
you know, there are ways to creatively pass on an interview. You can say scheduling
What
conflicts.
if it was your publication was like, yes, you have to interview Ivanka Trump?
At the bottom of what's the word I'm looking for? At the end of the day, it is journalism.
Yeah.
So you have to have an unbiased like filter. And there are times where it is silly bitch entertainment news, and we're like, cool, let's have a good time, let's ask some questions.
Yeah.
But when it comes to real everyday people life stories, it's like you have to have an unbiased opinion. And so having the journalism background I have, like sometimes you get thrown assignments, you're like, I have to do this, or I'm too close to the source. How do we creatively do this best?
Or what if it's like somebody you don't really know or don't really care about, but you have to kind of like sell them to your audience? How do you do that?
Sometimes people are hard to sell. Like
Yeah.
sometimes there are.
Sometimes people are so. I remember one time I had one guest, because like normally when you do interviews, you have to kind of make deals with publicists, and you're like, okay,
Make goods, yeah.
yeah.
If
Well,
I do
not-
this, can I do it in the future for you
Yes.
for this?
Or yeah, or if I interview, or I want to interview Paris Hilton, and they're like, okay, well you can interview Paris Hilton, but then you also have to interview my other client who's this no name, and so you have to make those types of trade deals. I remember I did that one time. I hated doing those because sometimes you would just
It's-
get people that are not interesting.
It's nuts. So the thing about this podcast that people don't also, maybe from an everyday user POV, have to think about is we kind of lay it on the line. So if we say something here that's not kosher, that could move things around outside of the podcast for us.
It could
on-
affect an interview.
It
Has
could aff-
something you said on this show or something I said on this show ever affected an interview for you?
No, but we've had times that got close, like where we
Like
have to
who?
creative.
I'm trying to give the people the tea.
I think that when it comes to, our Bonnie interview, like we had to have a couple things that we made
yeah.
sure we told correctly. And it's like, if you have one publicist who is representing multiple people, if you honestly do dirty on one of the clients, you may lose the whole roster.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you tell the story clean. You have to make sure that they feel comfortable, like we've had to do with a couple different interviews, a couple different things that like you come to carpets with me for. You can't just like go for the jugular. Everyone's always asking, like, what's the burning question? Like, do you love gay people? And
No.
it's like, end of the day, you can't always go hopscotch around. So I would say there's definitely been a few times we had to behind the scenes, like creatively control it. Can I sometimes say what actually happened on here? No, because then we're going to get a message that says, why did you talk about this on your podcast? Like balancing act. It's just as much on live TV. We sit here and we're like, how do I make sure this doesn't bite me in the ass 48 hours later?
My ass is always getting bitten.
Yeah, it is in the news, and you always have outdated photos.
I know there's no, I was actually happy. Well, I wasn't thrilled with the story, but I was happy with the photo they used of me this morning.
At least you had that.
Yeah.
At least you had a good photo. But I will say, Zack has been really good in the field. So I brought Zack, you came to the GLAAD Awards 2 years ago.
I did.
And you interviewed Heather Dubrow.
I did.
And there's times in the field too where like, you don't know shit about this person. I'm gonna be honest. We have Housewives coming up later in this episode. I don't know Orange County.
Yeah.
I barely even know enough for other Housewife franchises. So I was like, Zack, tap in. Would you be down to interview Heather if she's down? And she walked by and I was like, you're in. And so even carpets, it's like on the fly. But live events, it's like, there's an art and dance. If you're a theater kid, you'll probably do well because you can navigate the field and navigate the stage. But it is a lot of work. I mean, there's even times in public we get asked certain uncomfortable questions. Can I come on your podcast? Or
No.
can I have you interview this person? And we're like,
No.
we're cornered. let me think. The best response is always
Send me an email.
Yeah, let me get back to it. So
Well, now I filter everything through David.
no filter,
Nothing
I thought is what it's called.
Nothing comes to me anymore. Nothing comes through me anymore.
Yeah, but we will be sprinkling some more stuff because I have World Pride. Everyone's going to see that on our socials.
Yes.
Of just like some behind the scenes.
Do you
I put
have
up
any fun interviews planned for World Pride?
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
I conducted a few interviews before, so that's the last component of this. Is sometimes you have to conduct before the event, over Zoom, over Q&A email. It's not always like you're going to get them in person. I did Trisha Paytas over the web video chat. Talked to Rita Ora, and I'm like, this is great. Having a good time. There's also some people who just won't do interviews, won't do press. For example, Charlie XCX at Coachella, she wanted to keep surprises. So for us behind the scenes, we got a piece of paper in the press room that says Charlie XCX, no press. Like not doing press, no photographers allowed in the pit. So I remember when I had reached out to her team for Coachella saying, can we do an interview? They're like, hey, we love the gays. She's not doing press this weekend. And sometimes
she's
it's
not
like
an
that.
ally.
How dare her? But it's a whole puzzle piece of Tetris every day.
Yeah. Welcome to our world.
And we'll share with you some more shit as it happens. I want to talk about TV though.
So much going on in TV.
I feel like this episode is going to be nothing but TV because not that there isn't much happening, but there ain't a lot that I'm like.
There weren't a whole lot of headlines.
Nothing that I'm so interested in. I think that you all be interested in either.
Yeah. I mean, Elon's kind of having a meltdown on Twitter right now.
Oh my God, I love
it's
watching.
Like a messy housewives
my God.
mess happening.
I love the memes that are like
crazy.
Trump is a gay man, where he's like, look at that gentleman. Look at how fine he looks. Have you seen that video? And then there's like Elon who's like, I did so much. I'm like, this is a great Page 6 article waiting to be written.
The girls are out.
The
claws are out.
See, you say girls too.
Yeah.
Elon's out on his platform just giving receipts.
Yeah.
Or yet to give some more formal receipts, but the TV juice of the actuality is pretty piping in the most part. We have a couple different things. We have Alex Cooper's new documentary.
Boring.
Boring.
I watched it on the way over here. So boring.
You want to get into that first?
Sure.
I was about to list the others, but Alex's documentary is the first on our docket because it's podcast. Do you want to say it one more time?
I'll let you continue.
You sometimes wonder when the headlines come in, why?
I know.
You're like, do I ever learn? No. So Alex has a new documentary coming out.
Okay.
On Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
I made you watch it in the car on the way here.
Yes.
And you were deep post massage. Very much like you had nothing else to focus on. And you thought this trailer was very
boring.
dull.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate?
No, because there was nothing interesting about it. I mean, it kind of like looked exciting. Like she was going to take us on like the behind the scenes of her podcast empire. And then like we didn't really get anything from it. Like it's hard because I feel like someone like Alex Cooper has always been so transparent at the start of her career. And I think that's what gained this popularity for her, is like people felt connected to her because she was openly talking about her relationships and her dating and her sex life with Call Her Daddy. And then her fallout with Sophia, like everybody was so captivated on that. And then after her fallout with Sophia, then when she signed her Spotify exclusive deal, I feel like she just kind of changed. And then there was this big filter and she just kind of became a lot more commercialized. And so my thing is, it's like, if you're going to do a documentary, then like give us everything. Like, let's get into it. And I just feel like there wasn't anything in it that I was excited about or hooked to, or, you know, especially because I feel like in recent years, she's kind of like danced on the line. Like when people set up boundaries too much and they don't keep that open door, like the Kardashians, like Kylie Jenner and Kendall, like they're terrible on the Kardashians because they don't give us anything. And
Give me everything tonight, Pitbull.
I feel like that's what we're going to get from Alex Cooper. It's going to be like Kylie Jenner on the Kardashians.
I will say we got a few billboards. I don't necessarily know enough of what this is about. It's about, I think, personifying Alex a little bit, but there
humanizing her.
Correct. Wrong word. I think that for this, obviously, it dives into the start of the podcast, what happened with her scholarship. I think that is also something people haven't gotten to hear about on her side.
Does anybody care?
I don't know.
She's like danced on that line of like something happened that was traumatizing, but she never really talked about what it was that happened. So I don't have faith that she's going to talk about what actually happened. We got no insight into her relationship, her marriage, her home life,
She's
her family
married?
life. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Exactly. That's my thing is it's like someone like Alex Cooper built this platform on radical transparency. And then now she's just kind of like this Barbie doll that's propped up and interviewing Katy Perry and the Chainsmokers.
She's a Barbie doll. What are you?
I don't know. Ken?
Ken. You are Ken.
Kenuff. I am Kenuff.
You are something.
I'm just Ken. What am I? What would you call me?
I don't know. I can't think of like a comparison for a popular toy that you would be.
Because I'm original.
I don't know, a Furby?
A Furby?
You know, like fun or like some Happy Meal toy. One of
A
those
Happy Meal toy?
Yeah, it's like a little snackable, just enough.
I'm cheap and snackable.
Value meal.
Value meal.
Yeah, look at it that way. Maybe there's like flickable monsters.
What a compliment. But no, I will not be watching Hulu's Call Her Alex. It just looks boring.
It is the play on of call her daddy, call her Alex. So
I would think that Call Her Alex would then teach us who Alex Cooper is, but this didn't really do that. Like
or at least the teaser maybe doesn't do that.
I think the teaser didn't let us know what the documentary is about. Like, is it about her tour? Because we kind of got a lot of her, like, behind the scenes of her tour, but, like, there wasn't a whole lot to that. And then there was, like, but her family, and then she kind of talks about her scholarship, and she kind of talks about the fallout from Sophia. But, like, we never got the tea on the fallout from Sophia. We never got the tea on what happened with her scholarship. We never got the details about her relationship. So, and I just don't feel like we're going to get that with this.
I think it's going to touch on a very serious note, but it's not going to tread the line. It's going to come far from it.
Where on the opposite side, we have Kristen Cavallari, and she just released her new reality show, Honestly Cavallari. And I say the complete opposite. Like Kristen in her press tour, I watched the first episode because the first 2 episodes dropped on E. I watched episode 1.
I forgot that it was on E.
Well, it's on E, but it's also, I think, on Peacock and then on YouTube.
Yeah. Sure.
So I watched it on YouTube, but it was actually good. Like she's kind of really letting down the filter, right? She talks about her relationship ending. She has her kids on the show. Mm-hmm. She's showing her kids on the show, which is completely new for her. She's talking about her relationships and her hookups. Whereas I feel like in recent years, Kristen Cavallari has been very mindful of trying to not feed the headlines and trying to not make headlines. Mm-hmm. And now she's kind of like leaned into it. It's fun when you lean into headlines.
You love a good lean in. And when someone else does it, you're like, absolutely. Crown for you, Joe Exotic. Again,
Kristen has always been somebody that's just, she won people over with her transparency. That like when people shy away from that, I understand why, but it's like, but that's what people fell in love with you for, you know?
I don't know enough. I know that she used to have another show.
She was on Laguna Beach, and then she was on The Hills, and then she had Very Cavallari.
I know Very Cavallari.
And then now she has Honestly Cavallari. And Very Cavallari, I think, wasn't her best because she wanted to not make it about her personal life and her marriage, which was crumbling. And this time, it really just feels like no holds barred. Everything's kind of put on the table. And I think when you go into production, and I think I learned this from Kim Kardashian and Khloe. Well, because they are, or I would say Khloe's maybe the most liberal with her life on camera. And I think with that, you kind of need to be. And I think Kim said, she's like, listen, we film everything because at the end of the day, we know we can edit anything out. So why not just capture all of it? And she's like, but then by the time you get through it and you live through it and you're in the edit, she's like, you don't even care about what you film. So you're just willing to put it all out there because there's nothing to really hide because you've already lived through and solved whatever those issues were.
I still feel like it's so filtered though.
It's become a lot more filtered, yes. Yeah. But I feel like Khloe's the most open. She has...
Kylie's getting there, especially talking about her boobs.
No, Kylie's not getting there. Kylie and Kendall are not getting there. Kris has become a lot more censored. Kim started to button up her life a bit more. Kim has moments, but it's not always...
If they film it all, I would have wished I got that Pete Davidson season.
Yeah, they completely scrubbed him.
Justice for Pete. Well, he's got a horror movie.
A horror?
Horror. That too.
Got it.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to fully keep watching.
Yes.
Okay.
I really enjoy this, and I like her press tour right now. She's like not holding back on answering questions. Like she's just kind of putting it all out there, and I think she knows that like she has to lean in and play the media game, and that's how she's going to do her best. And maybe she'll go away for a couple of years, but at least for now, she's leaning into it, and I think it's great. We need more of that and less of Alex Cooper.
Take notes.
What else is on TV?
We have TV and film. So I'm going to say something controversial. I never saw Wicked.
Really?
Yeah. I stand by it. I was a theater kid. My best friend in high school loved Wicked. I consumed Wicked so much. I just also, the hype sometimes of theater and reporting on Wicked for like a year and a half. Sometimes I'm like, I feel like I've lived through it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the first one. I will say the trailer for the second one slaps. They
Is
did
it?
a really good job. I know they filmed them back to back. That trailer slaps. It's very, very tearjerkery for like those people who know the story, who are very fans. I wasn't get to watch the first one, but it's wild to look at the success of Wicked and then now part 2 coming out, and it's going to blow away the box office numbers of the first one.
I want to do a live watch,
You want to do a live watch?
a live reaction.
Okay.
Like YouTubers. But
React
we have to
Nicole
actually put the
Scherzinger.
little video in like the corner, like how they do it on YouTube.
Then get a little copyright censorship after, and you know.
No, we won't. It's a
I'm-
reaction.
Yeah, get it. So,
Ooh, Ariana looks cute.
wait, pause. Do you know the story of Wicked? Did you watch the first one?
I watched the first one.
You don't know the story though.
I do know the story.
Okay.
The evil one is the bitch in the wheelchair. What's her name?
The bitch in the wheelchair.
They see me rolling.
That's not who the. Anyway.
Isn't she the ends up being the bad one? No.
No.
Yes, they all hate her. I went on TikTok and I watched the whole timeline plot thing. You know the story of Wicked? What is the story of Wicked?
Just watch.
Okay. Okay. Ariana looks great. Cinematography. Oh, she's looking for Alphaba. Come in before the monkeys spot you.
It's just crazy that they also filmed these the same time. Like, can you imagine memorizing all these lines? Trying to like get through
Ooh,
one scene
Alphaba's
after one.
mad. She's become the villain.
She is
She's
the villain.
doing magic. Yes, but she's not the real villain. The real villain is the bitch in the wheelchair. Oh, okay, so they turned the town against her. Yeah, I knew this. Orlando Bloom's in the... Oh, no, he's not Orlando. Who is he? What's his name?
Jonathan Bailey,
Yeah, but what's his character?
Fiero,
Fiero.
Orlando Bloom.
He looked like Orlando Bloom. Oz. There's the Wizard of Oz. He has... This actually does look... It's shot very... The colors are very nice.
There were some people who gave the first one a lot of flack for the coloring and the color grade, but
Yeah.
I think they're doing a great job with this.
They're coming for you, Alphaba. Yeah, I know, because they turn everybody. But it's the bitch in the wheelchair. And then everybody hates Galinda. Or she's Glinda, right? Or she's Galinda. Is she Glinda or Galinda? Glinda.
Glinda.
Glinda. You didn't watch the first one, so you don't know.
No, I do, but I'm just watching you unravel right now, trying to decipher this whole thing.
Think of what we could do together.
Oh, it's about us.
Like a comment.
So,
Oh, she got married.
it,
To Fiero?
it's
Oh, Dorothy. Dorothy's in this?
yeah, girl.
Well, I mean, no, I didn't. They're friends again. I thought they weren't friends. Where's the bitch in the wheelchair? There's Dorothy and the lion. The lion looks fake. You could tell that's very CGI. Oh. She got her... Fiero. He has changed. But doesn't he save her in the end? To fly. Ah. Oh, they're friends now. Okay.
So, girl in the wheelchair,
only
she
one
can
that
be
mattered.
perceived as wicked. You know, she becomes
She was wicked.
But
What was her name?
Nessa Rose,
Nessa Rose.
Marissa
Oh,
Bodie.
she's the one that gets smashed by the house. Yeah, right?
Go.
Isn't Nessa Rose the witch that got smashed
Yeah,
in Dorothy?
Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah. Okay. It looks really good.
Right?
I think you should watch the first one, though.
I think you should watch the first one too.
I did watch the first one.
You did?
I watched it on Peacock.
Oh yeah. See, that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm gonna watch it on streaming when it comes out, but then I didn't get to that because I was so tired.
I did watch it, and it was actually good. I don't like musicals. I hate musicals, actually, but it looks good.
You know, that's the other part. As a musical theater kid, sometimes watching them, you're like,
Are you a musical theater kid?
I was in high school. I was in middle school. I was all throughout growing up. I was in Singing in the Rain, Susical, like Once Upon a Mattress, Jesus Christ Superstar. Just goes on and on and on.
So wow, I didn't realize you were. I mean, I didn't realize you were like in all the musicals.
Yeah. I went to summer music school every summer.
What?
I was a choir boy. Sung tenor 2, was in district chorus.
Interesting.
Yeah, the things you don't know about me. I could be a murderer too.
I doubt that.
Yeah, I squeam at blood and needles, even though I love horror movies.
Mm.
So that has come out, and that came out, and people are just losing their ish. You know?
It looks good.
Do you think it's going to outperform?
Yes.
Same.
I think it's going to outperform the first one because you're going to have all the people that watched the first one, the hype from the first one, and then you're going to have the newer audience that maybe streamed it that are now going to be hyped up.
And the new people who never gave it a chance.
Yeah. Like you.
Different. Do you think...
You didn't watch the first one?
I watched it on Broadway.
Different.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read the book?
Do you think I read? I
No.
read enough articles. Do you think that Ariana and other members of the cast will receive any awards this time around for Wicked?
They have to because they didn't get any the first time around.
That's what I'm thinking as well. I think for any of the awards that Cynthia Erivo, Ariana, I think they'll definitely take an award of some sort.
For sure.
It's unclear about the rest of the cast. I don't know who's going to deliver and who's going to stand out in this performance for
I don't
part 2.
think anybody else is going to get anything.
You are so positive.
Well, no, because I watched the first one. I've seen everybody's performances. They shot them back to back.
Jonathan Bailey,
Nah. Boring.
but good to look at.
He's just a pretty face.
No, that's what they say about you.
Thanks.
No.
Now I'm funny.
And
I have a personality.
it sounds like a dating app. I'm funny. I'm good for long walks.
Yeah. I say crazy things.
Restrain her. How dare her? Do you have anything this week you also want to get off your chest?
Labubus.
Stage is yours. Go for your minute.
I don't understand the trend of Labubus. So Labubus are the little troll monster dolls that people are putting on their designer handbags. Their Louis, their Birkins, their Gucci bags. I don't get the hype. I guess it started from Blackpink.
Continue.
That's her name? Blackpink?
The K-pop group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the girl in Blackpink?
Jenny?
Her name?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Apparently she started it.
Don't know.
She started the trend is what people were telling me in my comments. I posted the video about my rant about Labubus because for me, it's a real hard no-no. And I didn't realize that the video was going to go so fucking viral. And now everybody's trying to educate me about Labubus. And now I can't get away from the Labubus and it's 10 times worse. So apparently some people think that it originated from Jenny and other people are saying that it originated from Crystal Minkoff. So if you're like a Pop Girl fan, you think it came from Jenny. But then if you're a Housewives fan, you're like, no, it came from Crystal Minkoff. Yeah, exactly. And so people would tag Crystal in my comments. And I'm like, guys, she can't see that she has me blocked on Instagram. So she's not going to be engaging in these. But so, yeah. So I don't know where it started from. I don't know how it originated, but they're basically like Furby keychains that people are putting on their handbags. And now they've been like so marked up. And now they're
the Gen
like
Z Furby.
They're $400
resale value.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
But like the difference with Furby though is like Furby like became so like Furby was the doll. Like the kids had the doll. This is like for
that's
adults.
why I said earlier, you're Furby because you're popular by demand. You're a value. You're at McDonald's. You're with the Happy Meal.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember you saying that, but I don't think it.
No, I meant like at McDonald's, you can get a Furby.
You could at one point, but Labubus are like a high-end Furby.
I don't know about that.
They're expensive, and people
they're $25
with
or $40, and then the resale people are trying to now mark them up because
now you can't get them because they're sold out. So then you have to pay the higher price to get the Labubu. And the number of people that are getting Labubus, I'm judging you. They're just like, don't come for my Labubus. And I'm like, no.
I saw this week, speaking of things you want to get off your chest, you had a feeling about the rainbow flag.
Had a lot of feelings about the rainbow flag.
And you know what? I'm going to say this too. Do we have to make everything rainbow just because it's Pride Month? Rainbow, there's every color in there.
No,
Doesn't mean it's your color. You know, like I don't always want to wear the rainbow. I saw Target had their collection of Pride that made you look like an underpaid cabana boy, but like I wouldn't wear them. I would just like something else that shows me I have a little pride.
Like a dick.
No, I mean, I don't want to wear that.
You already have one.
Yeah. But like, do we have to make everything rainbow? Do we have to do that?
No. Walking into Target now is like somebody just vomited
First
rainbow.
of all, you're walking in Target still?
I've electively not done it as much anymore just because it's such a production. Because now everything at Target is like locked up in the things, and you have to call the lady and you have to do the little scanner, and the lady
DEI.
comes and she like is mad because she has to come, and I'm like, bitch, I don't want to be here just as much as you don't.
A lot of reasons I don't want to go Target anymore. But the rainbows this month, I know I'm going to gay publisher and everything. Can I get another option to wear that shows I'm really gay? Like if I just had a black and white, I don't wear. You see this?
Like, how come we don't have like a ribbon?
What color would the ribbon be? Black?
Sure. I don't know what you like.
It would go with my outfit.
Or it could just be like a little penis ribbon.
Oh, that'd be kind of cute, actually.
Right?
Yeah, like a little button.
Yeah. But no, I agree. It's like June is just rainbow overload.
Vomit.
It's so much rainbow. It's so many colors. It's so overstimulating.
Rainbow washing is what they call it.
Rainbow washing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's just like throw up.
Yeah.
Put
And
a
then-
logo.
I know. And some people need to not wear so many rainbows when they go to Pride. Because they have the socks and the shirts, and then they have the headband, and it's...
I'll do a rainbow bandana with like this outfit. It would look cute. But like, we change so much. We don't want labels, and then we label ourselves and confine ourselves, and then we ridicule each other for not confining into certain things. I'm like, can I just get a couple more options of what I can show to have some pride?
Love.
Labubu.
No.
I also have one thing to get off my chest this week.
What?
You know that book, The Artist's Way? Have you seen people sharing it left and right?
No.
Do you know who Dochi is?
Yes.
Okay, so there's this book that makes you write aggressively. You write 3 pages every morning, and you also do, those are called your pages, by the way. You also do an assignment every week, and it is to help you for those people who are creatively stuck, creatively feeling blocked. And I started it, and bitch, there's so much writing.
What do you write about?
You write about, and you're supposed to dump your thoughts every morning for at least 3 pages to get creatively unstuck. Feel like you can get all of your feelings out, your emotions, feel like you can actually do something creatively. And then every week you assess yourself of certain reasons of why you're blocked, certain life events, certain things that have told you why you're not good enough. Why do you not see yourself this way? It's kind of like a self-help book in a very overstimulating way, but like I'm on chapter 1.
So you're just journaling?
You're just writing a fuck ton. And Dochi said that's how she really, and other people, broke out of their creative funk. And I'm like, yeah, because you're crying every week and you say, I want to do something about this.
Do you feel like it's helpful?
I'm only on chapter 1.
Do you feel like chapter 1 is helpful?
You know, I did have a little moment where I had to write, I am funny and I am knowledgeable.
You had to write standards.
I don't have those. It's tough. It's tough though. Like it mentally puts you through like the why have I told myself I have to work more? Like why can't I appreciate the work I have a little more? Like in our field, we're always like off to the next thing. You're only as good as your last. And so it's like, who taught you that? Who instilled this? Why aren't you proud of like your accomplishments a little bit more? And so you creatively just get this box put around yourself of I'm not good enough. I'm not succeeding. You don't believe in therapy. So like,
no, I don't believe in therapy. Everything is a mindset. It's mind over matter. And as long as you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
what do you do when you get upset? You call me. Which it hasn't happened pretty often. You just call me about boys. You call me about work. You call me about something. So am I your sounding board?
I don't even think I have anyone I call anymore. I just bottle everything up.
And you have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
You just let them.
Here's the thing: when you're when you're busy and you're doing things, you don't have time to sit around and think of how sad you are or think of how you don't have confidence. You're just doing things. Like my dogs, they don't want to sit around and wait for me to think about all the reasons why I'm sad in the world. They're like, we want to go outside and go for a walk.
No,
we have
bitch,
to go
with the
play.
shit.
And you have to, and you lock down and you do it. I'm up. When you have a good, steady routine and you have an outlet, I think the gym is a great outlet. I love to run. I break my body doing it all the time. But I always like to tell my coaches and my fellow gym members that injured is a state of mind. So you just don't pretend, or you just pretend that it's not injured and you just keep going.
So you physically get injured.
But then your mind is so much stronger than your body.
I love watching you go in a tailspin.
Yeah, I just live in a land of delusion.
Land O'Lakes.
See, but then when you're delusional and you don't think about any of these things, then you don't have feelings and you're not sad.
Are you sad?
And then you don't need a therapist.
Do you know what sadness feels like?
No. I don't remember the last time I was sad.
I do.
Who has time to be sad? When was the last time I was sad?
Boys.
That was a long time ago.
Bitch, that was months ago.
No, it wasn't. It was like a year ago.
And then you have little spurts that say, I saw this thing. It made me think about him.
Yeah, but that was still a very long time ago. Hasn't happened this year. You know why? Because I'm busy with Blake Lively.
Knock on wood. Well,
that's why I don't date.
I feel like that's a good way to end our episode, is just back to Blake Lively for you.
Delulu land. Just live in Delulu, and then you don't have, trust me, you don't have to worry about anything.
Don't trust me, trust me. Well,
trust me, you should be more delusional. That's the message of the week. Happy Friday. The message of the week, I'm going to leave you with my wisdom every Friday from here on out. And today's lesson is just be more delusional.
Less yourself. Take it from Alex Cooper.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.